And we're back. Did you miss me? Of course you did. I'm delightful. So we are reading Almost Odis by me, Dusty Thompson. I told you I was bringing Paisley back, and I'm bringing it again. Am I wearing the same shirt? Yes, I am. I'm going to wear it every time until I reach 100 subscribers. Probably not. However, I do like this shirt. It's adorable. Anyway, for those of you who are following along, we are on page 242. The blog dated Friday, March 29th, 2013, putting the math in fashion since 1984. Last week I was in Portland, Oregon for a leadership conference. As the attire for most days was business casual, I decided to wear my colored chinos with appropriately coordinated shirts/sweaters and accessories. I was there with several of my friends, Corey Ramsey being one of them. Hey Corey. And hey mother of Corey, Deb Hammonds Ramsey of Omaha, Texas. Fabulous. Anyway, as we have previously discussed, I think I'm a cutie tootie in my ensembles, pronounced ensembles because I'm like that. And I received myriad reactions depending on the audience for these outfits. And other than a younger, more attractive homeless contingency, I wasn't sure what to expect from Portland locals. They really do have attractive homeless people. It was weird. I was staying at the Heathman Hotel. I will let that sink in. If you're confused as to the reference, then you're fine. I was confused too. If you recognize that name, know that I am judging you and not just a little bit. Apparently this hotel featured prominently in the confoundingly popular 50 Shades of Nasty book series, or whatever it's called. According to some of my friends who shall remain nameless as they should be, but I assure you are not properly shamed. Now, the Heathen Hotel is a fabulous hotel. That book is just gross, from what I've heard. I haven't read it. Am I a hypocrite? Probably. Someone asked me if I had read any of the series, of which there are 3. I responded, if the fans of the book call it mommy porn, I don't think I have to read it to make an assumption of the level of yuckiness therein. Feel free to disagree. It won't be the first time we've not seen eye to eye. And I said all that to say this. The breakfast breads in the local hotel restaurant were so good I was able to stop feeling all ooky and partake each morning. Their croissants were delectable and the scones were delicious. I told the dad this story and he asked me what a scone was, and I explained that it was like a biscuit made with sugar, which he appreciated, but it dampened my fancy just a touch. The manager of the restaurant was the nicest lady who remarked on my outfits every morning and decided I needed a free scone for being so dapper. Since I agreed, I accepted her offer of a cinnamon scone with Marionberry jam. I always laugh when I say Marionberry, because that used to be a mayor of D.C. back in the day. On my jaunts around the city that day, I met all and sundry of Portland, some of them weird, like the homeless guy I gave money to for he and his woman to eat at Subway. How does he have somebody and I don't, I wondered. At the very least, I have a home. Also, I had a messenger bag full of $1 coins because the public transportation ticket kiosk wouldn't take debit cards and I only had $20 bills, so I ended up with a ticket for a train ride I didn't want to go on, to go to a bowling alley in the sketchy neighborhood, and $18 and $1 coins because that's how they roll at the Portland Transit Authority. Don't get me wrong, I love me some Sacagawea, but I don't need 18 of her likenesses ruining the line of my trousers, which is at this point were red. What I mean was they didn't turn red, they started out and remained red throughout the day. It had nothing to do with setting the tone for the possible gangland slaying and whatnot, although the neighborhood was a little more CSI than made me comfortable. The bowling alley had loaded tater tots which more than made up for the gang territory feel of the neighborhood. I'm not going to list off what I would eat a tater tot, off of what I would eat a tater tot. Suffice it to say, when I see potatoes in tot form, it is on. Do you hear me? I would eat a tater tot off a dead body. I ain't even lying. I love tater tots. But getting back to this homeless person, I think I'm some sort of magnet for odd people, and this was before I embraced the rainbow of chinos. Mr. Subway and his woman saw me later that day and gave me an update on his life, his issues with Social Security, which I presume he thought he told me about, and asked for more money. When I reminded him he had just eaten at Subway in the last 2 hours and I didn't think it was possible for him to be hungry again, he seemed confused. I don't know, maybe his girlfriend is a heavy eater. I'm not judging nobody for eating nothing. I'm just saying. And nobody watching this video should be judging anybody for overeating during coronavirus. All y'all were, and you know it. Even the vegans. Y'all had a lot of vegan stuff based on your Facebook photos. Just saying. Portland is an awesome city because they are all about their vintage thrift store clothing choices. And there's a difference between vintage and thrift. Vintage means sometimes ugly stuff from past decades at today's retail prices. Thrift means sometimes ugly stuff from today at past decades retail prices. And you know I love me a thrift store. There are so many of these stores in downtown Portland, I found one that is solely big and tall vintage, called Fat Fancy. Who knew? The manager and I became fast friends. Hey, Carly. And we had a fun conversation about, among other things, rodeos in a thrift shop in Oregon. After leaving Fat Fancy, I got caught in a sudden sleet storm, like they have, and sought shelter in the nearest Starbucks, of which there is one every 6 inches. Seriously, there are 2 across the street from each other. When I entered, I was awarded Best Pants of the Day and another free scone. How people equate baked goods with awesome pants is beyond me, but who am I to argue, although at this point, mis pantalones, that's Spanish, we're going to be el tado por favor, which is also Spanish, if I keep eating all the scones offered to me. I could find the homeless guy and give the scone to him, I suppose, but I'm not going to walk around looking for him since I already went to all the thrift stores. I'm wearing fuchsia chinos with the gray pea coat and gray suede wingtips. Maybe I'll just walk to the center of Portland and let him find me. But is that really helping him? Give a man a scone and he eats for 1 meal. Give him teal chinos and he eats for 2 meals if he's lucky. But boy, doesn't he look good doing it. I'm trying to stay humble, but being all Gandhi-like while wearing Brooks Brothers is hard, y'all. And I haven't been shopping since coronavirus started. And Brooks Brothers is now going bankrupt. I'm not saying that I was buying all their clothes, but I think I was buying all their clothes and now they don't have any customers. Sorry, Brooks Brothers. Ben won't let me shop. At the very least, I should be rewarded with one of those secret government drones taking a photo of my breathtaking approach to men's fashion and giving the Department of Defense new ideas to elevate their uniform options. Khaki and navy are not exciting colors, y'all. Do you really want people defending your country taking their fashion cues from one of those chain stores? It's called Old Navy for a reason. We want a new navy, which could be purple or at least aqua, am I right? And olive is not a pop color to anyone except my sister and the Mennonites. At least Amish women embrace color, and can't we all learn something from them other than they could be straight up trashy deer in Rumspringa? Ooh, I watched a documentary one time. They are crazy trashy deer in Rumspringa. And then some of them just go back to being Amish again. It's very weird. What? I watched a documentary. And no, I'm not talking about the ridiculous fake Amish mafia that the dead watches. I hope that show's not still on. I have been wearing colored chinos, colored socks, and pocket squares for a number of years, and it seems the fashion world is slowly following suit. Lately, it looks like an Easter parade in most menswear departments nationwide. Am I mad if the Johnny-come-latelys jumping on my bandwagon, which sounds like a trailer you pull behind a band bus? Absolutely not. If we make the whole world a better-dressed place, I'm all for it. Plus, it pays unexpected dividends, better service when shopping, access to the first-class security fast lane to airports without ticket verification, because you know my government employee butt is not flying first class. And as we have just learned, free foodstuffs. And if I become those within my sphere of influence as frame of reference for awesome, then they will have come into alignment with the thinking I have braced for far too long to honestly admit. Colored chinos plus suede wingtips equals free scones. I wonder if this is the new math I've been hearing about. No child or techie person left behind, y'all. I think we'll stop there and see you next time. Thanks.